I decided to try and do one more video today showing what's happening with my end delivery shuttle and pirn and my shafts from a different angle, just because my head was in the way for that last video. Okay, so I'm starting out on my sequence. And with this end delivery shuttle, well, I still have to move my upper body to get it across because I'm just not in the speed shooting mood. I move it less. And I want to talk about what just happened here. I did not wind all sections of this pirn very well, and so it caught, and that is what caused that little hiccup. So I'm just going to unwind some more until it's coming off my shuttle smoothly and easily, and then I'm going to try that pick again. And it's not really going to do its end delivery thing because I wound it off. In other words, it's not tensioning as it goes, but at least I'm not having that thing like that over and over again. So this is why you practice your techniques. You practice your winding of pirns, you practice your winding of bobbins, you practice your warping, you practice the throw and catch of the shuttle. You practice all of it because moments like this are just, they're jarring. They're jarring for your body. They're jarring for your yarn. They're probably jarring for your loom. All right, so I'm back on pick 1. So I've got shafts 1 and 3 up, and I've just gone across. I'm double beating, moving to the next shed, and going across. Pick 2, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because I've got to get that top layer out of the way. 5 and 7 for the first half of my bottom layer. Pick 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Shoot across, double beat, because I really want to pack that chenille in there. And I've only recently discovered this, like within the last 10 minutes. So, and last pick is just 2 and 4. So if I hadn't cut off on my sampling length, oops, forgot to go back on the new shed. If I hadn't cut off all my sampling length, I would have had the opportunity to discover that a double beat is working better than a single beat because this is chenille. You need to pack it in so it doesn't worm. And see, this is what happens when you're sloppy on technique. So the next pirn I wind, I'm going to do better. Yep, see, there it goes again. Oh, and this time it might be because I've filled the pirn too much and the yarn doesn't have space to wind off because it's smashed up against the inside of the shuttle. So again, this is how we learn. And unfortunately, there's not a good way to fill a pirn, know that it works well, and then leave it as a comparison because you've already used the yarn on it. So I am already liking this shuttle better than my stick shuttle. Yeah, see, crappy technique makes for unhappy weaving. So do as I say, not as I do. And I'm also doing something that I shouldn't, dang it, doing something I shouldn't be doing, which is hanging on to the selvage because trying to unlearn techniques your body has used for decades is really hard. You're supposed to let the shuttle do the work. Don't fiddle with the selvages. So why am I cussing every time I forget to, I do my treadling awkwardly? Because the great Jane Stafford recently reminded me that, and she didn't do this personally, it was in one of her classes, but she would have said it personally if I'd ever gotten the chance to talk to her, I'm sure. Okay, so the sequence of treadle, beat, change sheds to the next shed, and then beat her back. What that's doing, if you change sheds to the next shed while your beater's at the front, if I change sheds now, the beater is clearing a new path. It's clearing that path for the new shed, which isn't such a big deal when you're using non-sticky yarns. But oh my gosh, if when you're using wool, or anything that might have a little stick to it, makes all the difference in the world. So the good news is I'm almost done with this pirn, and because I'm going to do the next one better, that's going to be great. Oh my god, see, and this is when weaving becomes more of a chore than a pleasure, is because I didn't do things right when I should have, and now I'm paying the price. This is also why beaming the warp for an even tension all the way across is so important, and tying on evenly is so important, because you can finagle, you can fudge a slightly uneven beam job by tightening up the tension. But when you do that, you're putting more stress on your yarn, and you're definitely putting more stress on your loom. So you always want to work toward the least amount of tension on your warp that you can manage and still get a clean shed. It's just easier on everybody. And when you start hitting a patch where you're going, oh, is my pirn going to catch? Is my pirn going to stop in the middle of the pick like it just did? Your body tenses up, or at least mine does. And that keeps weaving from being the relaxing, wonderful, meditative thing that we love. So, because I'm trying to do so many things at once on this project, recover from a bad warp, recover from a bad pirn, try and reteach my body something that has been doing since the 90s about the sequence of treadle, throw across, beater forward, beat, change the treadle, go back. I've got a lot going on with this project right now, and so it is maybe a little less fun than I might like. However, I will reach a stage, I'm sure I will reach a stage in this project where I've gotten past all these problems, and suddenly weaving this blanket will be a little more fun. So that's it for this weekend. Hope you enjoyed it.